everyone, so this is a review for Mavi and actually for her daughter. So, okay, what we see here is a blue eye, and the way we can tell that it's blue is, do you see that it's only really brown right around the pupil area, and then the rest of it is kind of like a greenish shade? Well, that green is lymph. There is no such a thing in like in iridology as a true green eye. There's true blue and there's true brown. If you have a green eye, that's just blue with lymph on top of it, because the lymph is usually like a yellowish color, a varied yellow. So yellow or an orange or a brown or something like that type of a shade. So when you mix that with blue, you get a varied shade of green. So that's what we see here. And we see sometimes the green is more towards the brown and then towards the green. And we see that right around the pupil, that's the worst. And that just means that you've been, or that she has been consuming a very acidic diet and has a lot of toxins accumulated because of that. Now, all of this can be undone, but it does have to it does have to start now, because I do see a lot of lacunas in the eye already, and that just shows damage. So just like we see, the lacunas are the holes in the fibers of the iris. So just like we see the lacunas here right around the GI tract, around the pupil, that means the same thing is happening to the body. So the tissues are not, where they really should be. Like, they're not in a state where they should be. They're not doing too well. There's nothing serious, but I mean, if you keep going down that road, eventually you will get into a serious situation. And it's good that she's so young that she can really take care of it now before it gets bad, and just change your diet, right? So so yeah, I do see some nerve rings. So you might have problems with the nervous system, so anxiety, depression, these kinds of things, anxiety especially. And that's again because the adrenals are not functioning properly, because the kidneys are not functioning properly. All of this is kind of interrelated. Just if, say, if you, for example, you're having headaches, in common medicine, they say, oh, okay, take a, I don't know, a pill for headaches, right? But it's your whole body that's not functioning properly that's causing that headache. And especially if you get one headache, every once in a blue moon kind of thing, then it's not a big deal. But if you're getting them all the time, then it's a problem. If you're getting allergies all the time or congestion all the time, then it's a problem within the whole body. And it's always lymph. Trust me, it's always lymph, because there's only two systems in the body. One that feeds you, one that cleans you. The blood feeds you, the lymph cleans you. So the nutrients come in through the blood, but it has to be cleaned out, because there's stuff that needs to be cleaned out, right? So it has to be cleaned out through the lymphatic system. And if you're consuming products that are toxic, our human body is not really meant to be eating stuff that's, I don't know, hamburgers, for example, right? Or something like, processed bread with processed cheese with meat. It doesn't know how to handle it, because it really has been designed for fruits and veggies, and then, not really meat even, because we don't even have the right teeth for meat, right? So just really fruits and veggies, but specifically fruits. So there's a huge difference between a burger that's been processed, or pizza or whatever, fast food, or spaghetti, or even like curry dishes, really anything, cooked dishes, versus a fruit from the tree. A fruit from the tree is so easy to process, because you know it's only one thing. It's what they call mono eating, that you're only eating one type of food. But when you're combining all these foods and then you're cooking them and you're creating what we call dishes, right? It's really not, it tastes really good, but it's not really designed for the human body. So that's why people more and more now are seeing problems, because it's a problem of genetics as well, that if a person has really bad diet, they have kids, and those kids are already getting their lymphatic system from their parents, and they're already in a weakened state when they start out. Then the kids grow up, start to eat poorly as well, and then those kids have kids, so their kids are even weaker. So every generation we're getting weaker and weaker, and that's why we're seeing a lot of problems with young kids right now in schools, having all of these weird allergies that their parents or grandparents have never even heard of, or never even had like that common in when they were young, right, or when they had kids. So you just really kind of try to get out of this and improve your situation while you're still young, while all of this can be undone. And all of it is really just changing your diet. So I would suggest in the morning, start out with fruit. Then when you have to eat like a meal, like a full meal, like a breakfast or whatever, try to make it without dairy, without processed foods, and without meat. I don't know if not a lot of people actually eat meat for breakfast, but as little processed foods as possible. So even if you can have like oats is okay. Just fruit is good. If you can have large amounts of fruit, that would work as well. And just really staying away from all of the toxic foods and learning new recipes that are better, like more natural, because you can create natural dressings, natural dips, natural salsas. Like it doesn't have to be from a container. Now, I don't know your diet, so I'm kind of just saying worst case scenario of what I usually see, how I usually see people eat. That might not be the case for you, but also kind of planning ahead and also knowing, okay, so say for example, you're young, so I'm assuming you're in school, and what you're gonna eat for lunch, and what are your choices, like realistic choices of what you can eat, because there's a social thing to it as well, right? Like you want to eat what your friends eat, so what is the best option you can have, and realistically from that creating a menu that's as natural as possible. So, but yeah, and once you go to that, you will see your eyes go to greener and greener and greener until they start to turn. So from brown, they'll go to green, and from green, they'll go to blue. So you'll see that progression happening. So thank you for sending me your eye pictures, and I hope I'm helpful. And if you have any additional questions, please let me know. I do have a book for sale on how to switch from a regular diet to a raw food diet. I'll link that below. I'll also link how you guys can send me your eye pictures. And I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.